Howdy, Tankers. Today I want to talk about tournaments. And when I'm talking about tournaments, I'm talking about World of Tanks tournaments that any player can enter into as long as you have the corresponding tier for that particular bracket. Tournaments can be found on the Wargaming main page. Also, you can find it here at worldoftanks.com/en/tournaments. This is what the tournament page looks like when you're doing a just general tournament search. It'll come up with, there are 6 tournaments here. One is in progress. I did not enter this tournament, so it is not green for me. I am in the Tier 9 1v1 tournament that's going to be in about an hour and 16 minutes from now. When it gets closer to the time that the registration will end, you will see here the countdown. I've already registered and confirmed my team, so I'm in this tournament whether I want to be or not. Let's click on this and see what happens. Alright, so this tells me there's still 15 minutes. My team name is Pandemic Panda. It's just something I came up at the beginning of the pandemic, and I just keep using it. This is a Tier 9 tournament. It's a 1v1 tournament. It's going to be on the mines map. The rewards are 1,000 gold and 10,000 free XP. That's a Sunday thing. Most of the time, the most you can get is 5,000 free XP, but on Sundays, the 1v1, whether it's Tier 9 or Tier 10, is going to give you 10,000 free XP. Second place is half that, and generally third place is going to be roughly half of what the second place is. And then fourth place always just gets free XP. These are the team names that have registered so far. There's probably a lot more. It'll tell you the schedule. This says it goes off at my time, 10 o'clock Central. I'm sorry, that's the registration. The tournament will start at 11 o'clock. And that, for me, the Sunday morning, 11 o'clock is the consistent one. It's just whether or not it's Tier 10 or Tier 9. They were Tier 10 for a while, but for the last several ones, they're Tier 9. I don't know why they do that, but it's never lower than Tier 9 on a Sunday morning, and that's the only one you can participate on a Sunday morning, with the exception of the 5v5 that starts on Saturday. Alright, so here are other tournaments that I have not registered for. This is a 1v1, a Tier 8. I will create my own team. I already have a list of teams. I don't worry about setting a password because no one else can join my team, and I confirm it. And so now I'm in. Alright, I go back to the tournament search. Once I'm in, it shows green that I've registered, and it shows when that registration will end here. Now there's a 2v2 tournament about 2 hours later. It's a Tier 5 2v2. So I want to join that. I don't want to create my team because there's a guy I play with a lot. I want to find him. He's at the top. I play with this guy, I play with this guy. There's a couple others that I play with. But this one I play with a lot. I happen to know the password, so maybe I don't. I join. And I'm in. Now he has to confirm the team, and he won't do that until we get closer to the time to verify that he and I are still on that team. So now I'm registered for the 2v2, but it's not confirmed. Let's click on it. It's on Erlenberg. It's a Tier 5. 1,000 gold for first place. That means, just so you know, 1,000 gold is the total pot, and so he and I will split that. Generally for a Tier 5, you're going to get 500 gold each. It's not 10,000 per person, it's 5,000. So when you see first place, anytime you see a first place prize and it's a multiple person tournament, it will be broken down into however many people there are. So each person that gets second gets 300, and thus far, and then it'll be 3,000 free XP. Now, if for some reason your partner doesn't show up, and there's a couple no-shows, and you're the only person in, and you get fourth place, if you're fourth place, you get all 6,000 free XP. If you get third, you get all 300 gold and all 6,000 free XP. If for some reason your partner doesn't show up, and maybe there's some AFKs on the other team, so and also if your partner misses a game, it's probably also important to know, if your partner misses a game or two and you still finish, whatever games, it deducts the gold and the free XP from them for those games and gives them to you. So sometimes if your partner's late but you show up and end up getting first place, that's actually great, because you get a little bit more gold and a little bit more free XP based on their absence for that battle. Here we go with, so here's my team. The team is unconfirmed. Until my captain, the captain of the team confirms it, it's not going to be locked in. And he does that, just to confirm. I signed up today. It's Sunday. This tournament is tomorrow. I may not be able to make it. I may have a work problem. And so he may contact me, at 5 in the afternoon and say, hey, are we good for this tournament? And then he'll confirm it. If I say I might not be able to make it, he'll kick me from the tournament and find someone else. So just keep that in mind. You can do that up until you confirm the team. You can make changes. All right, so I've signed up for that. Here's another 1v1. I sign up for all the 1v1s because if you don't show up, there's no penalty for it. I mean, you just don't make any money. And other people appreciate that because they like AFKs. I'm going to create a team. Now, normally, if I'm creating a multiple person team, I'd want to set a simple password, because you don't want anybody just joining. If you just set a team, anybody can join. Now, you don't have to confirm them. You can kick them off your team, but you don't want a bunch of yahoos joining your team. You want to be able to invite the people that you want, and so you want to set a password. I'm going to do a different name. I usually use Pandemic Panda, but these are just ones I've just jokingly put up there, and it remembers them. Captain contacts. A lot of people put their either email or their Discord information for if you're doing a multi-person team. So look, I'm going to confirm the lineup for myself, and once I've confirmed it, I'm locked in. But it's a 1v1, so that just means I'm in the tournament. If it was a multiple person tournament, that would mean if someone contacted me at the last minute and said that they couldn't play, I'd be hosed, because I couldn't replace them, because once I've confirmed it, they're locked in. So that's the only drawback to doing that. So here's a 3v3. I don't want to create a team. I want to find a team. I want to see if any of my people have teams. No one has set up a team so that I normally play with, because I know their team names. So just give you an example, these are all locked. If I wanted to join this team, before I join it, if I want to see what it looks like, I will click on it and see who's in it. Imperial Recon, I know this guy, he's a friend of mine. He has it open, which means anybody can join. This team as well is open and anyone can join. He has a 0 personal rating. That doesn't help me at all. Well, it helps me that I wouldn't ever join them. So there's a couple here that are ones that you can take a look at. That guy has a very low personal rating. Well, I'll join my friends. So I join. Now I'm on the team. Now, I've joined the team. If someone else were to join the team and he were to confirm it, I'd be locked into this team. But honestly, I don't want to play. I want to play with the guys that I normally play with. I have 3 teams that I normally play with. Actually, now it's just 2, because neither one of my partners in my 3v3 yesterday showed up. So I won't be playing with those guys again, because neither one told me they weren't going to make it. So now I'm down to two groups of guys that I play with in tournaments, and I want to play with one of those in this one. So I just wanted to show you that I can join the team, and before it gets confirmed, before a third person joins, I can leave the team. Imperial's going to be like, hey, you were with my team, what's going on? But now I've left that team. And so when I go back to tournaments, it will show that that's open and I can join it. The rest I've joined. I've joined a group I know, and I've signed up for 3 tournaments. This one I've already signed up for, and that's the one I'll be waiting for later today. Tier 9 on mines. I prefer tier 10 on mines. But how it works, how all of these type of tournaments work is pretty simple. They're brackets. They're 6-team brackets, so you generally play 5 teams in a bracket. However, hold on. Wonder if sometimes there's not enough teams. I wonder if I can do a tournament search. Upcoming. My ad finished on here. Well, I'm gonna try. Maybe it's doing it and I'm not giving it a shot. So if this was yesterday's 3v3, yeah. So this was yesterday's 3v3. This was my team. My guys didn't show up, so we didn't win a single battle. But the reason I'm showing you this is there are only 4 teams. So a very important part of understanding tournaments is you might get in a bracket where there's only 5 teams total, so you'll only have 4 battles. The confusing part will be, this one started on time at 2 o'clock my time. The next battle started at 2:13. Then there was a long gap. This was our round 3 bye gap, and so no special battle will pop for a long time. And people sometimes think, oh, it's over, and they leave. You have to know that in a short bracket where you're only playing 4 teams instead of 5, there's going to be a gap somewhere. Ideally, you get them all done and your gap is at the end, so you're done. That's ideal. Or if your guys are going to be late, you'd like to have your gap at the beginning. But this is generally when you get in a tournament where there's a short bracket, there's going to be some gap somewhere. So just keep that in mind. Those guys are my friends, but I'm not going to, they've when they don't show up and don't tell me until after the fact, I have other teams I can play for, so that's going to, I won't hold that against them as friends. But you got to know people, like you got to know how people play in tournaments, because like this group here, Alpha Group that I've signed up, I know how he plays. He's a great caller, and I understand where I need to go to support him. We both have the competitive tanks, and we both know how to use them. So I enjoy playing with him. I enjoy playing with Eraser and a few other people. I don't play all the, like, there's a lot of guys in my clan who are really good players, but I just don't play with them in tournament settings. If I played with them enough, it would help me. I apologize for my dog in the background. It would help me understand how they play, and I might, play with some of them as well. But it's good to get in a rhythm. I've gotten in a rhythm with the Racer, and I've gotten in a rhythm with the Alpha Group. So I like playing with those guys in tournaments as much as possible. And I'll sign up for one of those groups here, but that's a couple days away, so I'm not going to worry about it. The other thing is, you will tell here, a lot of the tournaments are tier 10, especially the multiplayer tournaments are tier 10, like this one here, 5v5 bracket. But this one's tier 9. The highest one I see here is tier 9, tier 8, tier 5, tier 7. They go all the way down to tier 1. There are tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. There's a tournament every tier. So just keep that in mind when you're signing up for tournaments, that there may be some tournaments, but don't think that just because it's a tier 1 you're not going to face tough competition. I've faced many very top tier clans, players in 1v1s at tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3. It all comes down to your tank skills and a little bit of luck to help you get through it. So that's all I have for you for now. I'll try to show you some additional tournament information later. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me in-game or on the forums. I'm happy to help wherever I can. Thank you for tuning in. You've been watching Winning with Warchild. All right, tankers, continuing my talk about tournaments and how to enter them. When you do enter them and you're playing in game, you will get a notification of a special battle that will flash for you. You'll click on the special battle and there a battle will appear, round 1 of your tournament. I'm in group 86 of the brackets for the 1v1 today. You click on that and the tournament bracket will pop up. The special battle window will show you your next battle. Sometimes they overlap. You don't have to worry about it. You can only play one at a time. So just click on the one that you can actually enter and you'll be fine. So then you go here and there you are. Now there are a couple things you have to do here when you're entering the tournament. So keep this in mind. This is a tier 9 tournament. You see it here, 9v9. So I need to go, I'm going to select my tier 9 tanks. Now this is on Murovanka. So the tank that I want to bring on Murovanka is my KPZ 50T. So I'm going to select that here. What you need to highlight yourself and move yourself over into the tournament. If you're in the queue, you're not in. This is mainly for tournaments where there's multiple people and you can select who you want if you're captain of the people you want. This is used in clans a lot to fill up the 15-man roster. So here I am over here. Am I done? No. You know why? Because there's a ready button up here and a ready button here. Both are red. I've selected the tank that I want. If you try to select, here, I'll show you first. Let's select a tier that doesn't match. Like this is a tier 4 tank. I'm going to try to ready that up. Error. Minimum. Tier 9. Oh, okay. I can't use my tier 4. Bummer. I really should have tried to use a tier 10 in the tier 9 tournament. So I go back to my tier 9 garage, I select the KPZ 50T, and I hit ready. Now I'm ready. It's the tier 9 tournament. I've got the countdown here for my first battle. After each battle, the next battle will appear in the special battle section. The next battle will pop. It'll say round 2, round 3, round 4, and round 5. And that's what you're getting when you're entering these tournaments. And then you can check the tournament page that I mentioned in the beginning of this video to see how well you were doing. You can also look up your enemy and see who they are, because this person, they don't know. All they see is Pandemic Panda. They have to look it up to see that it's Warchild that they're playing. This guy is probably not. Sometimes people put their name, but a lot of times, like Bad Ave here, that may be Lady May. I don't know. You just don't know who it's going to be. So that's all I have for this section, and we'll continue on with tournaments. All right, folks. So when you come to the tournament page where you sign up, and you've already signed up for one and the registration is closed, it's going to say registration closed. This is the tournament I'm currently in. You'll click on this here and that will take you to the bracket that you're in. I'm in bracket 86 out of 113. This is the lineup. My first game is at 11, which is in about 6 minutes. I'm playing this guy. So this team, if I click on there, will show me I'm playing this guy. I can click on him. That'll take me. He's a good player. He's played a lot of games. These are his most frequent. I like to figure out what their tier 9s are. You can select tier 9, but I like to scroll down to kind of see how many tier 10s they have. This guy has just about every tier 10 in the game. So he has the AE phase 1. He's got an ace mastery in it, so he's pretty good in it. That tells me that there's a high likelihood he's going to bring the AE Phase 1. He's also got the T55A, which is a really good tank. He does not have the KPZ. So I think he's going to bring the AE Phase 1. Based upon his tournament tanks. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so let's go back to the bracket. So he's my first team. You'll notice that there's a no-name team here. This is teams. There are teams that do not want you to see who they are, and they have figured out some sneaky way of not being able. You can't click on them. There's some way you can figure it out. I'm not smart enough to figure it out. If I can't click on it, I don't care. But I'll find out who that person is in the third round. I play whoever that person is in the third round. I can't look them up ahead of time, but I can click on everyone else and see. That guy has 0 personal rating. Okay, so there's that person. So this isn't going to be that helpful because this is people you either really smart and really good and utilizing the system, or there's some bugs in it. But this is my bracket. These are the teams that I play. And you can basically look them up most of the time. But if you have a blank situation here, that just means those people are smart enough to figure out how not to show their team name. But this is how you can keep track, and you can update it after every battle to see who's winning and what position you're in. It'll go 1 through 5, 1 through 6, and it only pays the 1 through 4 slots, as we talked about at the beginning of this video. All right, folks, once you finish your first round, I was lucky enough to get victorious in mine. You can go click on Special Battle. Round 2 will appear. Click on it, move over, and ready up your tank. All right, folks, I just completed my first round. I was victorious, so I want to go to the page. See here, it shows no battles have been played, but that's not right, so we'll update it. And you can see the 3 teams that won and the 3 teams that lost. Oh, the no-name person lost. So the next player I face is this team, so you click on that. Click on this. And we'll look at their tier 9 tanks. Oh, he doesn't have that many. So he also has the IS-32, and he's played the most battles in it. So I would say that he's going to bring that. Although he has played actually the most battles in his E75. Huh. If I were a betting man, I would say he's going to bring his E75. But he won, so he's not doing badly this morning. There you have it. All right, you can see that I've won round 2. So we go to the tournament page. It still shows round 1. We update it. And now I see that I am undefeated and in first place. There are 2 teams, this team and this team, that are still fighting. So the guy I beat in the first round and then Foda Say are fighting now. they're still in battle. But you can update that later and it will show if this guy is undefeated or not. I play this blank team. You'll see that they have a draw with this team. That generally indicates that both of these teams are AFK. They are away from keyboard. They did not show up, which happens a lot in tournaments. Teams do not show up. Yesterday, 2 of my players didn't show up, and I could have just given up, but there's tournament missions in the game that are important to know. And so these 2 seem to be AFK. They have 1 point each because they tied. But even if no one showed up, you have to play a game to be able to get any type of reward. You have to show up for at least 1 battle to get any type of reward. So if everyone was AFK in your bracket and you showed up for the very last battle, and so you had 1 battle, even if you drew or just had a technical victory, you would get first place in that. We just played 1 battle if everyone else was AFK, and no one else would get anything. All right, so I've beaten 2 live players. I will face this Fodase in my 4th battle. This next battle should be an AFK battle for me, but we'll have to see. Excuse me, my dog's going crazy. All right, and there you have it. So this is my 2nd battle, and I was able to defeat this guy. And so we go back here. This is round 3. So it has this weird thing for the team name, so they really don't want you to figure out who they are. But I'm going to bring the KPZ50T, and we're good to go. All right, folks, this is what happens when you get a technical victory. Now notice, well, here the other battle has already popped, but sometimes the next battle won't have popped when you get your technical victory. So if a team doesn't show up, you get a tech vic, and that counts as a win, so you get the 3 points for victory, but you just don't get anything else. Now, why I don't like tech victories, even though it does make it easier, is there are missions, tournament missions. And tournament missions, especially the ones for credits, are important to me. And so tier 9 and 10 are tier 2. This is, you see the number 2. Destroy enemy tanks, that's a number 2. These are tier 9 and 10 tournaments. Tiers 8 and below are tier 1 tournaments. Actually, I have that wrong. I apologize. Let me restart that. All right, folks, what's important to know about tournament missions are tiers 1 through 7 are level 1. Tiers 8 through 10 are level 2. And so this is a tier 9 tournament, so if I get 2870 damage more, 2,870 damage more, I will get 5 crew boosters, credit boosters. If I play in a lower tier tournament, I've got to get, I've already gotten 1. I will get 3 credit boosters. So credit boosters are important, and that's one really good thing that comes with damage in tournaments. So a lot of people focus on making sure that they get enough damage, and you can get 5 sets of each of these. So that's another good thing about tournaments. All right. So I have finished the tournament. I've played all 5 battles. I have won 4, and I lost my second to last battle against this guy who's undefeated. We both have 12 points, but head to head, he beat me, and so he will always be first. However, this guy who I beat is 3-1. If he beats this guy, if Bolkags beats Foda Se, then we will all have 12 points, and the system will show 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. It will be a three-way tie at first. If Bolkads loses, then nothing changes. He'll have 9 points. This guy will just go from 12 to 15, and I'll have 12. If they tie and draw the game, Bolkags will have 10 points, and Foda Se will have 13 points. Either way, Foda Se cannot lose first because he beat me, and I beat this guy. So if he wins this, he's first. If he loses, he's first, because it'll just be a three-way tie. Now, I try to be nice. If I'm in that position and losing would help the other players tie with me for first, I will not even show up, so that or I'll do missions and lose, so that more than one person can get the first place prize. But that's me. Not everybody is like that, so don't expect everybody to work with you on this. Now, had I won, just so you know, had I beaten this guy, I played this Pedro person who didn't show up. Even if I was 5-0, or excuse me, 4-0, and I didn't show up for this guy, it would not have done anything, because he wouldn't have shown up. It would have just been a tie, a draw, and I would still be higher than the other players. So you got to work the numbers. You get no points for a loss, 1 point for a draw, 3 points for a win. So 1 point for a draw, 3 points for a win, none for a loss. You'll see that these three people this guy showed up but lost. If these three people don't show up, even though they got 4th place, and on the tournament list it shows that 4th place gets 3,000 free XP, because they didn't show up for, or maybe that guy did show up. So he'll be the only one that will get anything. He'll get 3,000 free XP just for showing up, even though he lost and tied with these other people. They get nothing because they were never here. And Wargaming does not give away free stuff to people who didn't show up. Now, I do want to say that this map here is wrong. I just realized this says mines, but it wasn't mines. It was Murovanka. Huh. That is, that's unusual. Not exactly sure, hadn't really paid attention to that. Wow. Well, that's something new. Hey, look. So that guy lost. So look, I got 1st place. So that's exactly what I'm talking about happened. The guy that beat me lost to that guy. The three of us, each one beat each other. And so we have a 3-way tie at first. So I get 1,000 gold, 10,000 free XP. Now, if there was a 2nd, 3rd place, they'd get 500 and 5,000, 200 and 3,000 and whatnot. But as you can see here, it's 3 that get 1st place, then it goes to 4th place. And then since this guy was the only one that actually showed up in battle, he's the only one who's going to get 3,000 free XP. And there you have it. Warchild wins. Even though he loses, Warchild wins.